Hey everyone, how's it going? Well, as you can see, we are spraying. In-crop spraying now. And I'm on the barley field here. And I'm using the 2594. I usually use the MX210, but it caught on fire. So that's another video for later. So I had to move everything to the 22 or the 2594. Monitors, GPS, all that stuff, and hooked up to the Flexicoil. So for those of you who probably don't remember, or some of you didn't see, I bought this sprayer last year. Works out pretty good. I had a 70-foot full-type sprayer, and it was starting to go a little haywire. The valves, they wouldn't open correctly, and one side was spraying more than the other, and vice versa. If you turned, didn't matter, kind of mattered which side you turned on first. So it was something to do on the solenoid valves there. Like where are they on here? On this one up, they're up here for each boom there, and it seemed like one was getting more power than the other. For some reason, I don't know. It's like one was opening 3/4 of the way, the other one was opening full, so you get less pressure in the boom. So anyway, this one's been spraying pretty good. It's a 90-footer. The only thing that's bad about it doesn't have the automatic boom height adjust, so I gotta keep watching that all the time. That's probably the worst thing. Other than that, it's pretty good, but I've been noticing, and I think I gotta tighten these bolts here. Yes, they are loose. It wants to, some of it wants to jam into the tanks here. So I gotta tighten these bolts, and I really should put some rubber around those. So when I get home, I just finished spraying out a tank now on the barley. The barley looks pretty good. Like in my last video there where I was crop checking there, you could had a couple on here. I had a couple runs plugged, and then I remember I unplugged one there, and then whatever. But it's not too bad. But I got to do some work on those, on the drill and stuff like that. So what I'm spraying in here is mainly broadleaves. I got a little bit of alfalfa growing back, all kinds of goodies there. Some volunteer canola too. Dandelion. These guys are hard to kill, but this stuff will get them. I hate those. So yeah, I'm just gonna run back home now, fill her up. I don't bring with the other sprayer, I used to bring a sprayer tank out and fill up in the field because I only had a 500-gallon tank, but this thing's 1,200, so that's awesome. Because on 10 gallons an acre, I could do 120 acres. So yeah, that works out pretty good. So I just run back home, fill up, and get water. I guess I could have a truck come out, but it's not that many more trips, so it's okay. But we're gonna go home now. So I'm loaded with chem. That's all the stuff I'm using right now, and I'm just filling up with water. I do need to get a new sight glass because this one's pretty faded. You can tell it's right there. The one on my old sprayer worked pretty good. So yeah, it's easy peasy. Don't have a chem handler, but because I'm just handling jugs still, but at least I have the induction tank. I don't have to go up there and pour them in like the old sprayer, which is not bad unless you do it in a bunch like Liberty. Holy man, that's a lot of jugs. That's, if you got a fair amount of canola, you'd rather use a tote. that'd be better. Oh yeah, I'm just waiting here to get full, 1,200 gallons. I sprayed this wheat yesterday. It's probably my best wheat. Well, that in the south part too, so. And filling from my dugout, I did that last year, and it worked really well. I got that super flow filter, and then I've got a, where is it? Right there by the blue and black, there's an inline filter there. 100 mesh screen on there, so double the protection. And I can say my treatments, the Nature's Pond treatments, are paying off. Water's getting better every year. This dugout is super full. Usually I can cut the grass right up to it. She's wet this year. Lots of water. A lot of runoff, and then all that spring rain too. So, good day everybody. Well, I just arrived at my south farm to spray, and it's pouring. Kind of thought it wouldn't. Thought it was gonna miss, but then the rain just came out of nowhere, formed, and a little bit of a thunderstorm here. But got some water standing already, so I don't know. It's pretty hard packed here. That's why. But this place can use it. This is okay. It can use it here. At home, we don't need it. I'm starting to drown a little bit at home. A lot of the crops are drowning a little bit there. So I wouldn't say drought, well, moisture stress, but my barley's got a little bit of yellow tips on it. And a little bit of my wheat in the low areas have some yellow in them, but this oats looks pretty good. But I'm just waiting for my ride. Guy's really talking. Wonder how much rain it was. Looks like lots, but kick the dirt dry. It's gotta soak in, so could have used more though. Alright, so I'm back. Today, right around noon, and you see from the last clip there, we had probably another good downpour after that one, after I stopped filming, probably about an hour later. So it's pretty damp. Can't find really much for dry dirt now, which is good. That means it's soaked down pretty good. I don't know what we got for rain here. My rain gauge, I forgot it over winter there on a post, and it cracked. So yeah, so it's just right. It's actually over there. I was cutting ruts a little bit, but for the most part, it's pretty good. Somebody was asking me. I posted this on Instagram. Again, make sure to follow me on Instagram, Northern Farmer AB. Somebody was asking me duals for spraying. Actually, a lot of my neighbors have pull-type sprayers, and they, my buddy there that I went to school with, he was spraying for the longest time with his big 9400 four-wheel drive with the Flexicoil sprayer, and so that's 8 tires. But in this situation, I'm finding that it's actually doing less damage than the singles, because the tractor's heavier. The heavier tractor without duals, the singles tend to sink a little bit more. And I'm finding with the duals, it's barely, it's like it's squashing the plant, but that's nothing. That'll come back up, no problem. The only thing I don't like is the spacing setting on my sprayer. Actually, the way it is, it squashes right in between the duals. So I wish it was either wider or narrower. I think you can change these. I think you can, yeah, because they got a setting right there. I kind of like it where it is though, but I'd have to change that. But anyway, it's working good. I know the neighbors right now in that direction, they're actually land rolling their wheat right now. Actually, no, it's not that direction, it's that way. But anyway, they're land rolling the wheat. I couldn't figure out. I was like, why is the wheat bent down in one way and bent down the other way, bent down the other way? I was like, how the hell did the air seeder do that? But no, they're land rolling it, and I've seen that before. They say they do that to make it tiller more, I think. I don't know, but anyways, I'm just gonna start filling up with water here. This is a dugout I draw water from, and when I was spraying the canola here last year, that water was pretty turbid. Like, it was dark brown, but it worked. Like, it killed the weeds. There was nothing. And that water is way better this year. I don't know why, but I think it's because we had less heat, more rain. But as you can see, this is the oats, and you can see where the oats ends. You can kind of tell the oats have a bigger leaf, and they're darker green, and the wheat is kind of a lighter green, or a darker green, and the oats is light. Actually, yesterday it was the opposite, but anyway, that's 120 acres of oats, because this is a mile long. So yeah, it looks pretty good though. I just wish, like I said, I have to do some investigating on my drill, figure out why not all the rows are seeding the same, which is most likely my towers and that. Could look at my meters too. Anyway, there's something that's been here for years. I don't know if you can notice it on camera, but can you see that strip? You see it? Put my finger on it. Like, for some reason, and nobody knows why, that strip always grows way better than the rest of the field. And we were wondering, maybe there was a water line that goes from that dugout way over there to this one, but that's kind of seems crazy, because I don't know. I just don't know. But all the time at harvest time, you'll see this. The grain grows about an inch taller. It's just weird. And it's always thicker and better. You can see the oats right on the strip. It's almost like we figured maybe there was a water line and it was dug up the dirt and something. I don't know. It's something that's been here for years. And it's always between the two dugouts, because there's one dugout here and then you can see that other dugout over there. I'll go back up on top of the hill. Okay, you can see the other dugout in the distance. And it seems like it heads right for it. But way on top of the hill there, you can't really tell. It's always right about here, halfway up. So, yeah, I don't know. Weirdness. Anyways, I better set up my pump and my filter. So this is what I use. It's a Superflow 2-inch pump filter. And basically it has a foam inside. And you can replace these foams, because last year I plugged mine up solid. But this year is a lot better. So, and for extra protection, I use an inline strainer for just a little extra protection. It's got a 100 mesh screen in there, so I haven't had any problems with nozzles plugging or anything, so it's working pretty good. And with water, like, costing me, I think it cost me for a 1,200 gallon tank, it's like 60 bucks now. And getting pretty up there, because it used to cost me $12 for 1,200 gallons before, like 10 years ago. So it's gone up quite a bit. So, and everybody's been saying dugout water is pretty good too. We just never had to it was easier to go to town and get water because it was all nice and clean and everything. So, all right, I'm gonna put this together. The water has just a slight brown tinge to it, but at least I can see through the bottom of the tank this year. Last year I couldn't see nothing in there. I was actually a little bit worried that if it would work or not, but it worked well. Alright, well, it's like 2, I don't know, maybe 3 hours later, and I'm still spraying my first tank. Actually, I'm only on I just did the first round. I had a problem with one of my nozzles. It was leaking like crazy. So, in order to take it apart, I needed a flat screwdriver. And I did not have a flat screwdriver. I had a Phillips, not a flat. So I had to run all the way to town to get a flat screwdriver. And once I took the valve body apart, the O-ring was cracked or broken. And they got spare O-rings in those valve bodies when you change them. So I just took that one out, put it in there. No problem. It's actually the third one from the wheel. So it's working good now. So the leaf's looking pretty good. I've just been looking down there. Got your usual broadleaves, you got your mare's tail, volunteer canola, some of those other weeds, hemp nettle in there, and a couple other ones. That thistle, oh, thistle too, Canada thistle. And this place is kind of known for Canada thistle, but anyways, once I'm going now, I should really give her. So I'm back filling up again, and my induction tank is empty. Give that a little rinse. Anyway, just thinking, I said the only thing I hate about this dugout is it's in the middle of the field. Why couldn't they build it out in the end over there? Down in a low spot, there's a lot of water there. This is where all this water goes. And the other dugout too. They could have moved it that way to the north. Kind of would have been out of the way more. Because I like going the whole mile. But then I got those trees in the way, but then it's not bad, but then you got this dugout in the way, and that one too. So that's the only thing I hate about this, but whatever, it's alright. So I have to take apart this valve body. There's 2 screws right there. Focus. You take that off and it pops off, and there's a bad O-ring in there. But they have 2 other O-rings in there that I think they're just spared. I had taken this apart one time before when I bought it to fix one, but I couldn't remember. So I didn't have any O-rings here, so that's a good thing. And I'm just about full. So not having the right screwdriver cost me like 2 hours for one little O-ring to put in. But other than that, everything's working pretty good. Back to spring. Well, I am done for today. I just ran out. I'm going to be a good 400 acres now. It would have been easily 500, easily, if I didn't have that O-ring break on me and I didn't have a screwdriver. So it's 10 o'clock right now, and if I were to fill up another tank, I'd be probably past midnight, and then I got an hour drive home, so I'm shutting her down for today. Finish her off tomorrow morning. Good morning, everybody. Back at her again today. Getting close to the oats and getting close to done. And I'm coming up to a slough. And I'm past the slough. Couldn't go through that one. It's still on water. So, yeah, this is, like I was saying, this will be it for my first pass spray. Won't be doing any second pass on cereals. Maybe the canola. We'll see. I've been reading some, oh, excuse me, tired. I've been reading some articles on how a lot of these bigger canola has just stopped growing or hasn't grown very good at all. So I've been seeing it on Twitter, Instagram, on the forums. They're saying, yeah, it's showing pictures. It doesn't look very good. But it makes me glad that I see it mostly in the cow. I did try Cantera. It's a CS 4000. So I'm trying that this year. So, anyways, we'll see what happens there. Well, I went back down to the south farm. I don't know how many of you look on my Instagram, but I did post that a hailstorm came through and pulverized the wheat. Thankfully, it's just in this corner here. It doesn't go much farther up here. Kind of angles off, and it kind of got half of that part and went that way. But yeah, it's kind of chopped it off here. You can see here, actually look, it made holes in the ground, in the dirt. See? There's a hole there just like the size of my finger. So they were a good size of my finger. There's another hole there, it's just pounded. But you can see that it did chop off the plants. Like a lot of them are sitting here on the ground. But thankfully it wasn't much. This will come back. It'll probably be later, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm just thankful that it wasn't the whole section. So I came here really because I forgot a hose here from my sprayer. So I need that for my pressure washer. So I had to come back here and I wanted to check this out anyway. But yeah, sounds funny. It's just crunching on my shoes. But I've never seen it we've never had that heavy of hail before, that it actually pounded the ground and left little holes in the ground. So yeah, anyway, that's the extent of the hail damage. So now I'm just gonna grab my hose and head back home.